and welcome to another exciting edition of the Untold.
Yep.
I am here with Hussein Ajouz,
Thank you.
and I think my name is ALMazeedi today.
I suppose.
I suppose.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. What about you?
I'm
I just want to dig into that.
You just want to
Today is a
travel,
very
huh?
adventurous day.
It's all about travel. Something very close to your heart, I think.
I've been traveling quite a lot.
You've been
quite
traveling
but
a lot
nothing too
due
exciting.
to your
Education.
educational dreams
Yeah,
and goals.
big dreams, yeah.
Big dreams.
But I think it's just, I admire people that travel to places that where the masses don't travel. to,
Right, yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Because
Uncharted territories for most.
100%.
And this guy has been all over,
He's been to a lot of countries.
and he's halfway through his way on being to every country in the world.
100%.
Right?
Which, yeah.
It's more than halfway.
Yeah.
And what a mission he's on. He has a dream,
Yep.
and we'll get to explore his dream
Absolutely.
right after this. We're back on the Untold, carrying on the conversation and welcoming our guest, Musaed Albanwan. Welcome on the show.
Hello, thank you guys for having me here.
That's a pleasure.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, so what we understand, you love to travel,
Yep.
right?
A lot.
And you call it a dream job.
Mhm.
So let's talk about that dream. How did it start for you? Wanting to explore literally the entire planet, basically. You want to visit each country. How did that form together for you?
Okay. The coincidence played a big part in it. Like I used to have a day job
Right.
where never felt myself there.
Okay.
What
For
did
like
you used to
10
do, if you
years.
don't mind me asking?
Oil and gas, like
Okay.
the rest of the country.
Ooh.
For like serious job drilling in the fields for
Ooh.
like 200,
So
200.
are you like an engineer or
Yeah, chemical engineer.
chemical engineer?
Yeah, so that's why I call myself now a travel engineer, just taking the taking
Engineer
the
that's
same-
actually traveling. I love it. I like it.
That's
So I'm
that's
trying
cool.
to engineer this field in a way. So it was like a day job. Then I took some time off to just travel some more. I used to tell them like, your world is big and my world is bigger.
True.
Some people wants to go to see a city. I want to see the whole country.
Right.
Wow.
People
right.
goes to Sao Paulo in Brazil and they say we've been to Brazil when Brazil is 27
Right,
states and
right.
I've been literally to 17 states out.
Wow.
And I feel like I want to go to the 10. Like I
Wow.
need to go to everywhere. That's what makes you different as like a traveler than just a tourist.
Right.
So it was never enough time. I used to travel like 80, 90 days a year with my job. But it was never enough and I always felt like I need to do more. So in this 1 year, I never felt I want to go back to the day job. Like,
Yeah.
this was never an option. The plan was like 1 year, then I'm gonna find something to do, whether I like or I don't. I need to come back to real life.
Of course, yeah.
This 1 year became 2 years, then it became 3 years, and I was
Oh,
just
wow.
nomadically traveling the world. Then everything happened by coincidence. When I have a friend who's doing like, they have a company for group travels, and they're like, how about you lead one trip to for us in Brazil, which was like my biggest love, like in the whole world is like Brazil,
You know it like the back of your hand at this point.
17 states.
more or less.
Yeah, more or less.
Wow.
Then I was like, okay, and I took a group of 5 only, but I did it exactly like I wanted to do. And since that day, March 2018, until today, I almost have 1 group trip per month. On average, 10
month.
per month, averagely 10 to 15 people on each trip.
Wow.
So one trip per month
More or
made out of 10 to 15 people.
Yeah, averagely. Now it's like even a little bit more, but on average, last New Year's I celebrated my 50th trip in Brazil. I
Wow.
started in Brazil and celebrated my 50th trip in Brazil, and it was like a reward for the people who trusted me, who traveled with me since the beginning.
That's so
It was like, I'm not
Yeah.
making any money
Yeah.
out of you
Right.
guys. It's a reward for you. I want you to be in this very special
Yeah.
trip. So it felt really, really good taking them to my favorite place, showing it to them
Right.
in the best time of the
Sharing
year,
that with them.
That's
yeah.
lovely.
which is
But why travel? Like, what is it about travel?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Like, people are obsessed about
so
going to new places and all that. I don't have that.
But you said something interesting that I want actually, because you said that the big difference between being a traveler and a tourist. I mean, you seem to know it deeply now. I mean,
well, I have my own opinion about travel, to be honest. Like, whatever you like if you like history, you read the books. If you like geography, you check the maps. If you like food, you keep cooking and eating and trying things. If you like video games, you just keep playing.
Absolutely.
I think travel is an advanced stage of what you like. So you reach a point where you need more, so you travel to get more of it.
Right.
So if you're a video gamer, you want to go to Japan, or you want to go to US and like do the Copcom and like these kind of things.
Yeah.
So if you like history, you want to go and see the history. If you like the geography and the nature and thing, you want to see more of it.
So I guess if you love traveling, you travel.
So I think everyone loves traveling in a way or another.
Absolutely.
But he needs to find the thing, like he needs to get on the way to start actually going there.
You're like literally one flight away from a huge adventure.
Yep.
And then this helped you or made you want to start your own group travel business?
It honestly started by coincidence, like when I led the group for a friend of mine in his company.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It was like honestly zero money. We didn't even make money. I was like, I'll just go on the trip. You're just covering your costs and the whole social media. I used to blog about travel for 17 years.
Oh wow!
I used to have my blog like on the internet, blog movements and Instagram came, and so I used to always have my photography and writing and travel thing like since ever, and I had a huge like number of followers that actually trusted you. Specifically when I started to travel in like 2010 and 9 and 8, I started with South America, with people used to see you as a hero. It's like, what? You go to South America, how did you go there? And only then when you go there, you're like, okay, it's like any other place. Like you need to know some language and that's it. But your people will only relate to things when they see their own people going there. So when I started to go there, they felt, okay, now we can go there. They started to ask, they wanted to know, how do we get there? What's the obstacle? Is it really safe? Is it not safe? How about the language? Do you know, like, is it an obstacle? It's like, honestly, you need to know some Spanish, otherwise you'll really get into trouble.
Yeah.
It's like now they trust that it's actually safe, you can go there, since one of us kind of like went.
This is the question I used to hear literally on like 3 times a week. For 15 years maybe, since 2010. I used to hear this question 3-4 times a week on Instagram, everywhere. Now I don't hear it anymore. As much as we have gone there, as much as I have blogged about it, as much as I used to show about, people now, they're not asking about like safety and security. And I think there was a lot of maturity now with travel, because people get to know, if you want to travel, read. If you want to travel, ask. Check people's, like, they relate to their people, like, who actually been there, and they compare it to their experiences. Okay, if he went there, if he's been going there for so long, it should be fine.
Of course.
So more and more people actually going. And I'd give an example of Colombia, for example. Like, I did one group trip to Colombia. I've been to Colombia like 2004, 10 years ago. 2014. Then in 2018, I made my first group trip to Colombia. And the same year I started. And we took 11 people with me. And it had a huge social media buzz. After that trip, Colombia opened to the GCC. Everyone in GCC wanted to go to Colombia.
What do you mean they opened to the GCC?
Like, I opened Colombia as a destination to the Gulf countries. Everyone, like in 2019, 5 group trips of influencers leading their group trips been to Colombia. I've done 2 trips to Colombia back to back. And they're like, until today, my best-selling trip is Colombia, and it's always full. I'm going in 2 weeks. I have like 20 people.
What is it about
trip.
Colombia you think that makes it such a hot destination?
It is beautiful. And I think, like, wherever I go to, whichever country, the countries that make a huge impact on me, and the countries that are really successful destinations are the countries with the nicest people. with the most interactive
So it's about the people, not the food or
Exactly.
the. Okay, fair.
Wherever you go to good hotels, good food. You know how to find these options. Nature is good. Everyone has a special scene. But when the people are nice, this what makes the difference.
the place.
Yeah, I've been
even
taking
better.
people all around South America, but
So,
Colombia, like in Brazil, are the most different or the most successful because when the group is there, a lot of interaction happens with the locals.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the real experience when you actually get to know the people. You talk to them, and they talk to us. It was like, and they ask about the hijab, and they ask about the marriage, and they want.
So they
to
show
know-
curiosity.
Want to learn.
Yeah.
How many countries in total, sorry, have you been to?
Well, I'll tell you, like it's 105, I think.
105.
105.
And we said it's 195 countries we have on this planet at least.
That is honestly crazy, man.
There is 195, and there is another 37
Territories,
territories,
which
and
are not
like,
countries but territories.
Yeah, like
Are
French
those-
territories.
Can we travel to those?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just need the right visa, and you'll
The
be
right
there.
visas.
And I've done half of these, but they don't count them.
People
So you're not
Okay.
counting them out of
You
the
can't-
105?
I'm counting them.
You're
Okay,
counting
fair,
them.
fair,
So
fair.
are they included in the 105?
No.
No.
That's
Okay.
extra on top.
Extra on top.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Wow. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you tell me about certain territories so I understand?
For example, when you go to the Caribbean, Caribbean is about 35 island countries, but the countries that's part of the 195 is only 12, or
The rest
actually
are just recognized
15.
as.
The rest is like you have 6 French territory, you have 6 Dutch territories, you
I
have
see.
3 like British, and people skip it because they're going for the number. Honestly, for me, it's just like
You want to explore that too?
I should be like at 140 country, but I spend lots of time in so many places that you keep just going around. As I told you, like for example, in Argentina, people goes to Buenos Aires, where I've been to 15 places all around Argentina. Took me a month to really visit everywhere. And today, when you come to make the trips, like in the whole business now, when it started, like I think I'm living. The people tell me like, oh, you're living a dream job. You're living whatever you want. You want to live. And when you reach the point, it's becoming a business, and it's as stressful as any other.
I'm sure.
job.
I am sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But the nice part is like you can't complain, because if you don't wake up
Right.
and you don't do your job,
Right.
there's nobody else will make it. Nobody else will make it
Right.
happen. Nobody. And
So there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and
Especially if
because
20
of the
people.
planning, does it feel less exciting because you know exactly everything you're gonna do since you do the whole planning, or it doesn't take anything away from the enjoyment of the trip?
no, because I keep changing,
Okay.
even if it's slight changes,
Okay.
and I only make trips to the places where I love
Okay.
to go, which is like mainly I cover all of South America.
You
And
really
not-
love South America.
Yeah, it's
He
my-
really
Is
does.
there like a reasoning behind that?
It's when you go there, you know what's nice about travel. Like when people wants to travel, they want to disconnect.
Escape.
They want to escape. They
Right.
want to at least detach from their
Detach
Yeah.
from-
reality for
yeah,
some time.
Yeah.
And there is not even one place on earth that this thing happened at best than South America,
Really. You
because
feel like you're lost with the new world or something.
culture is so different.
Culture is so different.
The language is a huge barrier. Aside
So
from
how
all
do
of this,
yeah.
You keep planning calling family for a week and it never happens because of the time difference.
Right.
You just wake up and they sleep, and
It's
whenever you
crazy.
sleep,
Crazy, isn't
Well,
it?
you mentioned something important: language barrier, especially in South America. How did
I
you
learned
navigate that?
Spanish.
You learned Spanish,
I learned Spanish,
Okay.
and
You made it
was
easier for
very
yourself.
important to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
At least in a taxi,
especially
in a
since you
street.
love South America.
Yeah.
But you make it sound as if you learned it like overnight. I mean, because it sounds very easy for you. Like at least. Did it take
I
time?
just took a course, like Spanish course, like the first level.
Yeah.
You don't need to speak it.
You want the
but at least
basics, so
right,
you can
left,
continue.
numbers,
Yeah.
check-ins, check-outs. How do you order your food? What is meat?
Okay,
what
fair,
is
fair. It's
chicken?
like the simple things you can actually
Simple
manage
ones,
your
Yeah,
life.
yeah. And when they
Alright.
know that you're trying and you're speaking their language, they come halfway.
They can
Nice,
have-
lovely.
Yeah.
Saad, we're gonna have to go on a very quick break, and we'll be right back with you to continue our beautiful, lovely, insightful conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, right back.
on the show, continuing our very travel-centered episode here
Yeah.
with Musaed. So, how do you approach managing the trip? How do you make the schedule? Like, what goes into it? You have your own way of making these group trips work.
It's been working nicely, to be honest. Like, people can tell when you're doing something out of love. You know, specifically when you are there.
I can see the passion, obviously.
you're even the little details, the concept you are trying to sell.
Yeah.
So, you know, people when they want to travel, the last thing they want to manage is a check-in, money. These little things sometimes it just annoys you. You're just running around. I need to exchange. I need
100%. They're exhausting, by the way.
Yeah. It's not. I sell a luxury experiences, like, and I tell them luxury is not a 5-star hotel. Don't come to my trip and ask me for like a 5. I have 5-star hotel and 6-star, an amazing luxury thing. Yeah. But in the middle of nowhere, sometimes I'll take you to a 2-star farm that you would. Like, what is this place?
Yeah,
you know?
but it's still wonderful in nature.
It's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience.
But when you're building the program, it's like, how would you get to know about a 2-star farm in the middle of nowhere?
I find them on the map. I just zoom in. I have like I search all the groups of hotels and things. For me,
honestly,
he does his research, man.
Wow.
Yeah, what makes my trips different, I would say, is where you stay and what do you eat. Because if we are 10 group organizers around the world, for example, everyone is doing, we all wants to go to, let's say, London. The sightseeing is all the same.
Right.
Whatever you want to see is all the same. But how do you do it? What time you do it? Your time management, your group management. Sometimes they tell me, are you the guide? I was like, no, we will be having local guides there.
Oh.
So what are you doing there? And to be honest, it's like I tell them, it's like I just make sure that the energy of the group is always up. And as
and
up as it
everyone
gets.
is pleased.
That's lovely.
That's lovely. Time.
Yeah, and I just trying to sell them like
you're like a great host.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I tell them it's not a trip; it's a show. Once you come on the trip, it's literally a show. So there is surprises, there is places it just comes up through the trip. And
So what destinations do you offer for your business aside from South America?
We do a lot. Now I'm getting into a lot of Africa too.
South Africa.
It's so interesting.
South Africa.
I love it.
Right. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia. That's one trip.
Okay.
We do Rwanda, Uganda, one trip.
How long is each trip? I feel like I'm gonna sign up right now.
I'm going to Colombia in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Colombia in 2 weeks. So are there 2 spots?
Well, we can find 2 spots.
We can find 2 spots.
So how long? 10
days max. But sometimes, like I used to do Colombia, for example, in 10 days. Then I find a way to combine it with Ecuador, and it becomes like 13 days. So people, when they see 2 countries, 14, I don't like to extend it because later it becomes a bit a matter of like how much you're going to spend in here and there.
Right.
It keeps adding. So I think even people at 10 days, 11 days is a very good number for people.
And is it like all-inclusive?
All
the
inclusive.
Hotel, the food?
I even give them cash money when they arrive.
Wait.
To that extent. Okay. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
So because
baked into the price.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah. What I'm selling them is I tell them like my luxury
convenience
is the peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Yeah.
So they think of nothing.
They think of nothing.
They just apply for the visa.
Yeah, I do the visa.
You do the visa as well.
Because that's what the travel.
So you just book your ticket. I will book your ticket. I'll tell you which ticket to book. I'll give you the phone number.
Are you gonna take them to the airport?
Well, I'm not going to be in Kuwait to grab them, but. Yeah, I think this.
You're usually on the other end, receiving them, accepting them.
I do trips like back to back there, so people just come and so and I'm having like Colombia, Ecuador.
You arrange
Peru,
them
Bolivia.
remotely online. You arrange everything.
Yeah.
Right, you're not in Kuwait.
Yeah, of course.
The clients are mainly GCC.
Okay.
They're mainly all from GCC.
The thing is, like, okay, so I've done a little bit of traveling before. I mean, nothing to that level. But whenever I go traveling in Europe, for example, I always jump from one country to the other because they're obviously neighboring each other. But then again, because I do like 5 countries in like 10 days, whatever. And so honestly, by the 10th day, I feel exhausted.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 countries. So the question is, do you like to do one country 10 days or more countries in less time? I feel it's unsettling. That's what I'm trying to say. It's unsettling.
Just depends.
Well, the way I do my trips is like people wanted to go across the ocean and go to these countries because they wanted to see it. So you will see us in 10 days, 11 days, we're switching 6, 7 hotels.
Wow.
So it's like check in, check out, check in, check out.
That's
like
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But if you want to see, you have to do it this way. Like from the most luxurious train in the world, we're going to in Peru. The day after, you're having a overnight train, sleepers. So it's like sometimes where is the luxury?
Experience is all over the place.
Yeah,
so you're redefining luxury. That's what I'm.
It's convenience is what he's selling.
Yeah, it's like
peace of mind.
You're
like
doing
you
the full experience at its best. You know,
Right.
it's like I want to take you that place. Like I don't want to spend one extra day. Every extra day is like more money. Like
Right,
and
right.
you're charging this much. So if you add a little bit more, it keeps
So
adding.
would you say your trips are usually affordable for the normal person, or but
No, they're on the higher end.
in the higher upper
Because
end?
I mean, obviously,
because of all the things that are involved.
It is. At the end of the day, I think this is service. You're giving people a service.
Like the first group trip I did to Colombia, 2018. Today I doubled the price.
Wow, because of inflation.
No,
What?
I don't make more money, but I upgraded the experience.
Upgraded the experience.
And like the most important thing for every business to keep going, is when your client feels the value for money.
Right.
When they finish the trip and they ask me, as much as I charge them, they ask me, do you actually make money? It's like, thank you. This is what I wanted to hear. It's like, I do make my money, but it's very important for the client to feel that he took much more than he paid.
So it's value for money. It's value for money. It's like I'm paying X amount. I want to get X in return. And that's once you upgrade, once you take them to... I think when you take someone to this, sleeping in a train, for example, even though, yes, some people might complain, but I think it adds a little bit of spice to the experience.
Adds to the experience.
Yeah.
Because I experienced it with my parents in Sri Lanka once, and we actually had that. So we had in mind that we're going to have like a luxury trip, and then we ended up staying in this literally a hotel in the middle of the forest. You'd literally open the door and you have monkeys jumping above you in a forest.
There's no price tag for that experience.
But that was priceless. That was something we can never forget.
Exactly.
But that to me was like luxury, as you said.
This is what I try to sell. Like if
you're selling experiences.
Trips,
yeah.
People comes back and they remember, let's say, 5 meals at least of what they ate. They remember every hotel where they stayed.
Oh my God, nice.
They remember like every national park they visited. So what we're trying to do is like people are going to this place one time because the world is big. They want to see more. So you take them to these countries and they see what they need to see, nothing extra. So it's just what we try to do is just like the wow things, like
so the wow factors.
Why would I take them 17 days and show them the whole country when in 10 days they need to see only what they need to see?
Right.
You need to understand the mentality of your clients. What do they like? What do they want? Because I know like there's a lot of people, no, they don't like it this way. Right. They like to go slow. They need
of course,
see more, talk
and
to
not
the people.
every person is gonna have the same type of expectation.
That's the difficulty of managing. I mean, 20 people to Colombia, for example. Like, only imagine how taking 20 people on a plane.
Biggest group ever, and I have ever took.
So you take them, and you're gonna have one big bus taking them all around, and then you have to entertain them in the bus, and then.
But he enjoys that. It's not like work
the bus
to him.
I just on my phone checking my mails.
So, I mean, honestly, for you as someone leading these trips, and you do it back to back, I mean, you're not. Is this so? The question is, when you travel, what is rest for you? Is coming back to Kuwait and sitting down
during the plane,
or honestly, because it must be a lot of stress when you.
Well, the whole business boomed just before Corona, so we had this time, and I was the first ones to come back to travel. Literally in 1 year, like we took 1 year off. Through this 1 year, I did 2 trips actually. One to Morocco with 5 people, 2 to Morocco, one with 5 and one with 10. I just wanted to travel back, and people wanted to travel back.
Everyone wanted to travel so bad after COVID.
I started like 2 trips every month, like Uganda 2 trips, Morocco 2 trips, and it's just like back to back, and everyone wanted to travel. So this strong coming back made this buzz, and it honestly did not take a day off for the past 2 years.
Wow.
But you get invited for hotels, you get invited for... So you need to adapt your way of working. You need to hire. Until today, like until 3 weeks, I did not have anyone to work with me for like the past whatever.
No way.
Yeah, some
my
virtual
God.
assistants.
This is like you're doing is like you're solo.
One-man show.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Oh my
some
God.
virtual assistants, some people works here,
Oh.
get fired, some but you need to wake up.
Fair.
Right.
You know you're doing the right work when you
Yeah.
actually open your eyes 6 in the morning without an alarm.
Oh,
You know, it's just
okay, all right.
Because
Because
you have
if
Takes
you
me back to
don't-
my college days.
Yeah.
Well, because if you don't wake up and do it, nobody's doing it.
Right.
That's
right.
the well
No,
said.
it's-
That's a
that's
very
well
good
said.
point. That's
You
a
need
very
to
good
do the
point.
talking. You need to do the convincing. You need to tell the people which flight they take
And it's
because
your calling. It's your
Yeah.
your thing. It's
Yeah.
your little baby.
My
yeah.
issue with traveling is the actual traveling parts, the plane ride.
okay.
And you've been on God knows how many planes. How do you tolerate long,
I
extended
tell you something.
flights? Yeah.
I have my boarding passes for the past 18 years.
Okay.
No way.
All of them.
Collect them.
Each boarding pass for the 18 years is in my drawer.
That's
You
cool.
have the boarding passes?
For 18
I-
years. Every flight I
I
took.
mean, makes sense.
I
He's
mean,
a
he's
travel
a
guy.
traveler.
He collects that. Guess what
Um,
what I collect?
I'm going to
movie
make a
ticket
map.
theaters.
Movie tickets. So, how does your passport look like from the inside? Do you have any white space in there?
Well, I just issued it in February. I think 10 pages are gone
Already.
This guy's
But
like
getting
stamps.
back to that travel
Yeah.
part, how do you mentally go through a 10-hour flight, 16-hour flight?
No, that's
Those are-
fine. As long as they
How
have
does the
internet
time
now,
go?
it's an
They have
office,
internet now.
it's
It
an office time.
barely works for me when I go.
No,
Yeah.
I'm a good sleeper. Like I
You're a
sleep.
good sleeper,
Yeah,
okay.
If it's a night flight, I would just sleep like a baby.
And
I don't have a problem.
do you usually travel economy
Yes, I don't spend my money
don't
on
spend
business
money on the
class,
business
but I
class.
have my tricks.
for upgrading?
Yeah,
Okay, you have
I'm
your
an
tricks.
ambassador for like one of the international big airlines, so they give me.
Amazing.
Yeah, I only sort out my long haul flights
Mhm.
whenever I'm going to America, South
Right.
America, these things,
You
Japan,
gotta go.
the long ones.
You gotta.
This has to be in and I have some friends working with airlines, so they sort me out with 1-2 tickets here and there.
Nice.
The rest I have to pay, and
Yeah.
almost last minute.
Yeah.
Always
yeah.
last minute.
Always last minute.
Looking deeper into travel, what do you think, in your opinion, is kind of like the biggest mistakes people do when they think of traveling?
Oh wow, that's a very good question for our people.
Yeah.
And this is what irritates me the most. The biggest problem of us, like our GCC people, is they're very last minute,
Right.
and they always change their mind.
I hate that part.
Why?
They always change their mind.
Do they
And
actually?
one thing now I'm trying to sell, like into like in the concept what we are selling, and it's really selling
Yeah.
that you don't need to wait for your friend. You don't need to wait for his vacation. You
Mm.
don't need to wait for him to get a permission to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
We are your friend. Like
The group.
The group.
Right.
They come solo and they became friends, and they close whole trips based on the.
So
like
a lot of the customers are solo. Coming in solo.
90%.
Oh wow.
I just closed the trip because this whole group finished all of South America with me. Only Chile and Argentina left.
Yeah.
So I told them I'm gonna take you. It's a very tough trip, and I was like, I'm gonna make one trip for you guys only. So whatever the number I'm taking you, and I closed it in 24 hours for like 35 people. They all know each other on my trips.
Wow.
Like the biggest number of them is like, well, like a couple coming, for example, they know each
Right.
other, like
Right.
they're married or something.
Right.
The rest, they all know each other on the trips,
Wow.
and they became friends.
Community now. It's a
It's a
community.
community of travelers.
They
Wow.
when you call them on
Backpackers.
a dinner to Kuwait, they come to Kuwait for dinner. When sometimes they gather in Dubai, they
Interesting.
go to Dubai for.
Yeah.
So it's like when you see people are moving that way for you, it's just like you know that you're doing something nice and good.
Lovely. Well, honestly, thank you so much. If you have anything extra to say, feel free. Now's the chance. Last
Yeah.
chance.
I just wanted to come back to our people.
Yeah,
I was like,
please go ahead.
Yeah.
You ask a good question. Is like, what, like to give them an advice. Book ahead. Book ahead. Don't
ahead.
change your mind. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
book 1 year ahead. Like I see like
That would
lots
be
of.
more affordable that way.
And not only that, sometimes you come last minute, you don't even find the
Get
options
the ones
you
you
want.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, the options you get where you get with is
You
like
get,
it's like it doesn't even give you half of the
it's like
experience.
the
that's good
leftovers
advice.
of the good stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's good advice. Honestly, I agree with you,
Yeah.
by the way, because I
Yeah.
think I fall victim of that as well sometimes. For like last minute, because I'm literally trying to plan a trip in Eid, which is a few
It's
days.
like a few days, yeah.
Like another thing, my trips are booked literally some of them a year ahead.
Wow.
Because, for example, this luxury train is sold out for the whole year.
And how rarely do you adjust those plans that you
No,
made
not
in a year?
adjusted. Once it's out there, خلاص,
It's
it's
set
out
in
there.
stone.
People pays and take
Fair.
vacations.
Honestly, thank you so much
That
for all
makes a
that.
difference.
Thank you for your time. We'll be back for the wrap up.
As expected, a beautiful
Wow.
episode.
Yeah.
This person has been all around.
I felt like I was traveling as we were talking.
100%.
You know?
But I mean, to be fair, whenever I travel for 10 to 15 days, I always feel very tired after. I only wonder how this person feels after 2 years.
I think he's adapted.
Yeah,
And it doesn't really hit
Became
him.
normal.
Yeah, it became normal and doesn't really hit him the way it hits us.
I think once he has a whole team working for him, things will be different. But it seems as like doing it out of passion. The fact that he's in every trip.
Yeah.
I actually am considering applying.
Well, do you have any plans for the summer? Do you want to travel somewhere?
I want to travel, but I have no idea where.
You don't know where you want to
suggesting
escape
Peru.
To. Peru, yeah.
Why not?
Peru, maybe.
Last minute
maybe.
decisions.
Last minute decisions. He said not to do those.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Tune in next time for more guests and more stories right here on The Untold. Till then, good night.
Good night.